You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
Final segment this morning. We're joined by Dr. Dean Hart, joining us by Skype. So, Dr. Hart, welcome. You're an author on the transmission of viruses and diseases and a microbiologist. So we're hoping with that expertise, you can get us a better understanding of what we're fighting in this coronavirus crisis. Why is this so different than the seasonal flu or cold?
Well, the seasonal cold and flu are common. We get the common cold, and even the flu we experience in our lifetime typically and get over it. But we've been doing that for many generations and build up an immunity to those virus. This is novel. The word novel says it all. We have no immunity to the coronavirus 2019, the one we're encountering now. So first, this is much more contagious. Second, this is much more deadly. Third, we've never been exposed to anything like this.
Yeah, lots of discussion this week about the usefulness of wearing a mask. Where do you stand on that topic? Yes, for all or only for those exposed to COVID-19?
Well, there's another category, a very important category that has eluded all the scientists at this point because we don't have enough tests. The main category we got to figure out are the ones that can transmit COVID-19 virus particles to another, but aren't symptomatic. Now, we're not testing people at random, and until we test people at random, we will not know how many people are roaming around, feeling fine to themselves, maybe a little tired, but fine, and they don't know they're positive, and they're getting everybody else infected. Now, for those people, anybody contagious, anybody that has tested positive, they absolutely should first avoid people. And if you can't avoid people, then at least you need to wear a mask when you're outside. Giving people fomite contamination by speaking is just very easy to protect if you wear the mask. So what we're facing now is, should everybody wear the mask? Because we don't know who's positive. And my vote is if there's enough masks, because the healthcare workers that with dying people come first.
Absolutely.
And then secondly is the entire population, because we don't know who's positive and who's negative.
Yeah, that's really something. Great points. In our TV station, by the way, we've taken drastic steps for safety. About 90% of our staff working from home. Still, the numbers can be scary here. Dr. Hart, is it inevitable that someone in our individual circles of influence will be infected?
Well, infected, I say probably so, but infection is a horrible sounding word because infection implies you're going to need a ventilator or something. That is not the case in the vast majority of people. Maybe even a quarter or a half don't even know they got infected. They know that they may be a little tired. And then within the 80% that are symptomatic, they don't go to a hospital and they don't need a ventilator and they have a cold-like thing and it is minor and doesn't bother them. The 20%, now that's what we're all focused on. Humanity has to worry about that 20%. But basically, you'll be exposed. It sounds, from the numbers and everything I can see, this is extremely contagious. Eventually, you'll be exposed and sort of infected, but not heading to the ventilator.
Yeah, I understand you've got some research about how long COVID-19 lingers on a surface. What's the real deal on what we should know in order to protect ourselves, in order to protect our loved ones?
Well, in a laboratory, you can spray things and simulate the real world, but it isn't really simulation. It could take 2 hours for it to clear the air, possibly, and it can take on the ultimate surface in a laboratory up to 17 days for it to clear the surface and not be an agent of infection. So how long it rests around, we have this huge range that's been debated. When you speak will you then contaminate others just by speaking if you have the virus in your respiratory tract? And that seems to be the case. It's sort of like measles. In the measles epidemic, you go into an elevator, cough, leave it, and then somebody else going in the elevator will get measles because it's aerosolized. We think now it looks like this is as contagious as measles.
Wow. Okay, so final 30 seconds or so. Did we wait too long in America to really come after it and take these steps that even you're talking about to stop the spread?
Well, hindsight is 20/20. Take that from an eye doctor. Yeah, sure, we should have started the day everything happened, but humans live in denial for a little while. I can't say politically I have much of a feeling that Donald Trump and Barack Obama not worry about pandemics enough. Obviously, they didn't teleologically, but who am I to judge? My job is to get rid of this stuff.
Yeah, and we appreciate that, you and everyone else in the healthcare profession. Dr. Dean Hart, thanks so much for joining us this morning. All right, so State Senator Rob Bradley is going to join us next week.